So I'm asking Bruce to tell me the story of the Icelandic Wrestling in our basement in Cordova Bay. Who was there and what were the things you learned?
Okay, well, there was a young fellow that I grew up with, Roy Gallup, and he wanted to learn Icelandic wrestling as well. So he and I approached your father and asked him what he thought of him teaching us Icelandic wrestling. So he said he would be quite happy to, but I had to give him some time to make a room in the basement that was padded up so that we wouldn't get killed. He had mattresses on the floor and halfway up the walls. It was pretty safe. Well, anyway, he let us know in a couple of weeks or so. We came out there, and then for the first month, all he taught us was falling and rolling and landing on our feet and getting up. And we kept saying, well, let's get into this Icelandic wrestling. And he said, let's make sure that you guys know how to roll and fall and get up again without getting killed. So that went on like that.
Keep going.
For some time.
Or just get Virginia in the picture too.
Oh, get Nina too.
And then finally he got on to teaching us Icelandic wrestling, which was very good, except it might have been a little better had I had, say, Archie McWhorter or somebody like that that was at least as strong or stronger than me, and I would have learnt more. But it was too easy to throw Roy around.
How did you, then you had to wrestle with my dad?
And I wrestled with your dad when he wanted to make some points at how to do certain things. And I would say I was probably as strong or maybe a little stronger than your dad at that point. But he was so fast and knew it so much that the strength part of it didn't matter to him. He was just too good. But I did notice that he never let me get a hold of him. He was always there and then he was gone.
So in terms of learning this, he would never teach us because he was a bit concerned that it could get a little dangerous out there on the playground.
Well, that's possible. And years later, I remember, I wasn't even with Roy, but I saw him get into an altercation outside the Gorge Beer Parlor, and I couldn't believe it. He just threw the guy around with tripping and Icelandic wrestling. That the guy didn't know where he was at with Roy. And Roy, I don't know.
Did you have any experiences where you had to use it?
I don't think so. I used a right-hand fist more than anything else when I got in trouble. And I got in a bit of a battle with a guy who was a boxer from Work Point one time, and I was really mad. I can't remember being as mad as that in my life, because he beat up on a friend of mine, whom I must remember to mention to everybody that Rick filmed last night, still alive. Anyway, he beat him up pretty good. So I came over to rescue him and got him out of it. But the guy kept coming after me, and I thought, this is just dandy. And I give him a whack like... Anyway, he went arse over tea kettle for quite a distance. And a little later in the evening, he came over, and he says, I'm not looking for trouble, he says, but I'd like to tell you, I box at Work Point, he says, I have never been hit that hard in my life. He said, thanks very much, I just wanted to tell you that.